Discuss again on Phillips curve. Phillips curve describes two variables. The first one, unemployment, and the second one, inflation. Okay. So the question is, unemployment and inflation, is there a trade-off? Oh. So in the short run, there is a trade-off. In the long run, there may be not. And so let us look at the diagram here. So here is unemployment, and here we use pi as inflation. Okay? So basically it looks like this. This is Phillips curve. So if you want to have lower unemployment, okay? If you want to have lower unemployment, means that this shift to the left, okay? Lower unemployment, then you're gonna have higher inflation. Okay? And if you have lower inflation, what you have? You have higher unemployment. So this phenomenon comes from here. So now it is Y, okay? And this is P, price level. And this is aggregate demand. And this is aggregate supply. Okay? So then you have higher price level, so that is inflation. So aggregate goes up, you have Y goes up, and P goes up. So that is pi, right? And Y goes up, unemployment goes down, right? Because you produce more, you need more workers. So actually there's nothing special about this. But Phillips, when he collect a lot of data, in 1950s and 1960s, and he drew the chart, and he found out this relationship there. So it's kind of stunning. Say, wow. So there must be some relationship between unemployment and price level. So originally, what is the data he looked at? He looked at labor market. So in the labor market, what happened? When the economy is good, okay? When the economy is good, of course, more people are going to be working. And if you are the employers, if you are the companies, and you want to hire more workers, so when all these workers have jobs, and you want to hire them, and you want to entice them to your company, what happened? You need to increase your wage rate, okay? So basically, that is exactly what happened when the economy is good. And when the economy is down, what happened? Some people lose their jobs, okay? And because of that, if your company wants to hire workers, you don't need to pay that much. And of course, the increase in wage rate goes down. So he didn't realize that, as a matter of fact, what he found is just normal, right? So when the economy is good, more people working, and you have to pay higher to get people working for you. And when the economy is down, that's the opposite, okay? And if you turn this chart, okay, to a different direction, so let us say aggregate supply goes down, right? If aggregate supply goes down, what happened? Y goes down, right? Because the economy is not good. Production level is going down. And what happened? Price level going up, okay? And so in the 1970s, this happened. Energy crisis. 1973, 1974, oil crisis goes up a lot, okay? So from $2 per barrel to $12 per barrel. So the price is extremely high. So in this case, what happened? Okay, price level goes up, pi goes up, and production level goes down, unemployment goes up. So the Phillips curves actually looks like that in the 1970s. Okay, and in 1980s, 1990s, several times of the energy crisis. So in this case, this is the Phillips curve. And under what situation? Under stagflation. So the economy is stagnant, and also there is inflation. So stagflation, the Phillips curve looks like that. And finally, people really look at the situation and see, well, what happened to the relationship between unemployment and price level? Actually, what determines the unemployment rate is the labor market. And what determines the inflation rate, that is the monetary policy, money supply. So in the long run, the Phillips curve looks like this. It's a vertical line, okay? Because unemployment rate has nothing to do with inflation. And inflation is solely determined by money supply, monetary policy. And so this is the long run Phillips curve. This is the short run Phillips curve. Okay, now my question to you. Under what circumstances will this Phillips curve shift to the right? And what circumstances will it shift to the left? So shift to the left because of what? Shift to the right because of what? Shift to the left because of what? And then you need to know, when Phillips curve shift to the right, what does that mean? That means, okay, this is the new Phillips curve. The new Phillips curve, unemployment rate is higher, right? Unemployment rate is higher. And also inflation rate also higher, right? So what factors will shift Phillips curve to the right? 徐光伟. Under what circumstances will you shift to the shift to the right, and what circumstances will you shift to the left? Try. So, as I say, right, this one compared with this one, unemployment rate is higher. Inflation is also higher, right? So, this is when the economy is going down, right? So, for example, shortage of labor. Okay? Or because inflation, or let us say, we have QE. So what is QE? QE called quantitative easing. Basically, it's just printing money, okay? So in 2009, to deal with the financial tsunami, Ben Bernanke, what did he do? He simply print money. Okay, but supposedly there should be very high inflation, but because the economy is going down, it didn't happen that way. And so anyway, when the economy is going down because of other issues, for example, government expenditure going down, consumption going down, investment going down, then Phillips curve may shift to the right. And here, okay, what does that mean? At any given level, unemployment is down and also inflation is down. So that means the economy is turning better. So for example, you have advance in technology. So now let us say AI, right? We got AI and it increased people's productivity, okay? And then it will shift to the left, okay? So basically, when the economy is good, it shifts to the right. When the economy is good, shift to the left. When the economy is bad, it shift to the right. Okay? Basically, any factors that can make economy good, it will shift to the left. Make economy worse, shift to the right. Okay, we probably finished 50% of this chapter, but let us go over the others. And here he said, discuss whether Phillips curve offers a menu of inflation, okay, employment. And the other thing is that So when we talk about inflation, there are several types. One is, we call hyperinflation. Hyperinflation. That means the inflation rate is extremely high. Okay. There's one story that I learned from Vienna. Okay, Vienna. Probably in the 1980s or 90s, that inflation was really crazy, and some people told me, okay, when you walk into the restaurant, right, you order something, okay, and finish the meal, and then when you want to leave, what happened? The price increased. So it's kind of crazy, right? It probably, for each meal, probably you would take 30 minutes to finish it, right? And so just 30 minutes, there's so much inflation there. That's kind of crazy. But that is something that could happen. Okay, but let us say in Taiwan, when inflation increased quite often, right? So for example, when you talk about, I'm not quite sure what's the, there are several shops, okay, several stores that increase price. For example, 胡须章, right? And what's the other? Sorry. 八方云集, right? Okay. If they want to increase the price, generally they have a menu, right? They have a menu. And menu, what dishes they have, and also the price. But, if you want to change the price, is there a cost to that? The answer is yes. Because, so let us say a dumpling used to be, $4, right? Say dumpling. What is dumpling? Good. Okay, good. And so let us say it's $4, and you change that to $7, and also later on you figure out $7 is not enough. You want to change it to $10. So what happened? You have to print the menu 4 times, right? 1, 2, 3, okay? And so there's a cost to that. And some people call should later. Should later. Later. Because you wear shoes, right? And you have to walk around, okay, to shop around. So there's the cost. But I think this is kind of crazy. But sometimes when there is a hyperinflation, this may happen, okay? So let's move on. So here, okay, the first question, the first issue is on Phillips curve, okay, and then the costs of unemployment and discuss the natural rate of unemployment, and then the types and costs of inflation, okay? And so the last one, right? Okay. Okay, Zhang Yuxuan, how to reduce how to reduce inflation? How to reduce inflation? Actually, at the very beginning of this class, we talked about that. But that's monetary policy, basically. Exactly. Okay? So, if you want to increase inflation, stimulate the economy, you use QE, okay? And you want to reduce inflation, okay? What you do? You use QT. So what is QT? Quantitative tightening. Quantitative okay, tightening. Sorry. Quantitative tightening. Just like Japan, right? Next semester we're going to discuss more about it. Because of deflation, Japan has suffered from 20 years of economic recession. And so how to deal with the situation in Japan? Okay? The way to deal with deflation is by inflation. Okay? So we know 安倍三支箭, right? What is the first one? The first one is to increase money supply. So when 安倍increased the, in English it's Abe, okay? In Japan, okay, they want to increase inflation. The easiest way is to push Japanese yen down. So depreciating Japanese yen, okay? So when Abe was in the office, I remember that the price of Japanese yen is $1 equal to 100 yen. But when he implemented the policy, it is going down to $1 equal to 120. And what about now? Now it is $1 equal to what, something like 152 or 155. I could not quite remember. Okay. So, but the point is, it sounds like very easy, right? But inflation, there's a cost. Okay. So, Feng Jie, what is the cost of inflation? You don't feel it. The cost of inflation, think about it. What about lunchbox? Price increase, you suffer, right? So why Kamala Harris lost so much, right? Why Trump wins so much? Because of inflation. When you put gasoline into your car, right? When you go to the grocery store, everything is increased price. That's not good, right? Okay? So another things we can talk about. So since I have started it, so let us look at this. Okay, so we have two types of people. One is called debtor. The other one called creditor. Okay? So, Liao Huiqing, what is debtor? Again? Good. You're talking about accounting. So, this guy borrows money from the bank. Okay? So, he is a borrower. Okay? He is a borrower. So he owes money to someone. Okay? And this one is creditor. So, okay, let me put down Mandarin. So this is, and this one, to put it simply, this is, basically like a bank, right? And this is like you buy a house, you have mortgage, okay? So now let us say we have inflation, okay? We have inflation. So who got benefit from inflation? This one or this one? So for example, so which one got benefit from inflation? The debtor or the creditor? The debtor, okay? Why? So let us say I'm a business selling lunch boxes, okay? So before inflation, each one is $100, okay? And now because of inflation, each one is now $120. Okay, so what does that mean? Basically, the sales of my items increased by 20%. Okay? So that means, so let us say, this is the money you owe, okay? Okay, before the price increase, before the inflation, you have to produce 12,000 lunch boxes to pay back your loan. Okay? What about now? You just, right? Before the inflation, before the price increase, you have to produce 12,000 lunch boxes. But what about now? 10,000 is enough, right? So you save a lot of labor, okay? And what about creditor? So he suffered, right? And basically everyone, if you got regular pay or minimum wage rate, then you got suffer too. But business people, because they can increase price right away, and so they got benefits out of it. So business people, in terms of inflation, business people love it, right? Because I can increase price right away. But what about your salary? My salary is not the case because it's by contract. It has to be, through negotiation so that your price can increase. Okay, now let me ask you, Amazon. Okay, Wang Beizhen, what happened to Amazon now? Have you read newspaper? Amazon is great big news. Amazon should be delivering Christmas packages now, right? This is 23rd. Tomorrow will be 24th, right? They should be delivering packages now. What happened? Are they working on delivering packages now? They are on strike. Okay, they are on strike. Why? Because inflation, and they got regular payment, okay, fixed payment, so they don't like it. They want increase in wages. Okay, so you got it? So regular workers got suffer from inflation. Also, that's the reason. Of course, the boss may give them a raise, they may not, but if they don't give them a raise, they would on strike. Okay, so at least, as I told you before, for inflation, still, it is not good, right? Workers suffer, but business people, at least, they still get something out of it. And the best of it is that when they want to pay back the money, they don't have to make as much effort as you look at this example here. But what about deflation? So deflation, who suffer? Debtors suffer. So no one going to borrow money. Okay, no one going to borrow money. Because when you borrow money, you have to work more. So the direction is the opposite, right? The direction is the opposite. So now you have to work more, right? That's the reason I told you that John Maynard Keynes said, inflation, deflation, they are all not good. Okay, both are really bad. But which one is worse? Deflation is worse. Because when you have deflation, okay, it's going to hurt people's incentive to work. Okay, because business people won't invest. Because generally when they invest, they have to borrow money. But now when they borrow money, they suffer. Okay, so that's the reason he said, deflation, inflation, they're both not good. But deflation is worse because business people don't have incentive to produce. But you may say, okay, this is not right because consumer got benefits, right? Because price is going down, okay? Price is going down. But you want to know, who is driving the economy? It is the business people. It is the companies, okay? Okay, so basically we have finished the whole chapter, but let us still look at it a little bit. Okay, so many people think there's a trade-off between inflation and employment, and that is quite right. And in 1958, Phillips, okay, he found out this. Okay, he worked at the Labor Bureau of Great Britain, and he kind of figured out, there's a negative relationship between unemployment and nominal wage rate growth. So, as a matter of fact, he is not talking about inflation. it is the nominal wage growth, okay? But then people, expand it and to include inflation. And so you figure out, well, the United States seems to be like that, and there's negative, relationship between inflation and unemployment. Okay? So this suggested to policymakers that, what can you do? If you have a slow economy and you need to get more people go to work, what happened? So you use monetary policy and you should be able to get it there. Okay, let's take a break.